What's up, folks? My name is Brandon. This is Chris, and this is Pizzas and Parkhops.
It's been a rough 24 hours or 48 hours, whenever the hell we started.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes there's technical difficulties, but guess what? New year, new ghosts. You know, we've had some problems, but we've fixed them. You know, we're trying to turn over a new leaf in the new year. You know, sometimes that happens.
It does. How was your New Year last night?
My New Year was eventful at most. Our power went out for like 6 hours, so we did some shopping, we did some things, and then we went out to eat. I went over to a friend's house for a couple hours. You know, enjoyed myself over there, and then came back home a couple hours before midnight and enjoyed it with my family. We set off some fireworks out in the drive. You know, people were banging pans, people were setting off fireworks. It was a glorious time.
Are fireworks legal in Indiana?
Oh, dude, yeah, man.
Are they really?
Yeah, and if you don't live in the city, which we don't, we live in the county, they're legal 365 days a year. So, wow. Yeah, I mean, if I want to go out in my backyard and create a common nuisance, I can. And the law can't say a darn thing about it. So,
really,
it's pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. You know, and I live in the neighborhood. You know, so yeah. But all my neighbors, they're pretty cool with it. They know that we are the extreme greens on on the edge of the property here, and we do Christmas big, we do 4th of July big. You know, everything we do is big down here. So
nice.
You know, our neighbors, I don't know if they like it, but they tolerate it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, in Mass, it's 100% illegal. You light off a bottle rocket, and the cops will be at your house in 5 minutes, locking you up.
Really?
Yeah,
that's crazy. Brutal. Yeah, that's crazy.
And up in New Hampshire, they're legal. You know, I could drive 20 minutes north and be fine, but not in Mass, not in good old Mass.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, it's a little over the top.
Well, you know, I guess in a suburban area or in an urban area, you know, I could see it, right? You know, you set off a bio rocket, it burns down like 3 city blocks.
So. Yeah, I can be in an abandoned farmland and 40 acres of woods, and they would be illegal. It's illegal in the whole state. So, whatever.
That's crazy. Well,
that's a conversation for another day.
It is January 1st, so Happy New Year, folks. You know, we are excited for a brand new year. And, you know, it doesn't get much better than this, you know, when we have a brand new year, because it means new things for Disney. And Disney's got some interesting stuff coming up for 2026. We've already covered some of this in previous episodes, but I think, you know, it bears to mention some of these things again. Also, we're going to talk about what we've got going on here at Pizzas and Parkhops for the new year, the coming year. So I think that you're going to really like what we got in mind. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to get rolling on this. Chris, I'm going to let you start in the conversation, and then we'll just kind of, you know, talk here or there, you know, on this New Year's episode. So, by the way, I do want to mention something. On October 1st is when we started this podcast. October 1st, 2025. We're at January 1st, so we're exactly 3 months into the podcast. So that's exciting. We're 15 episodes into the podcast, but on October 1st is actually when the Magic Kingdom opened. So we, it wasn't unknowingly, but we did discover that recently that our podcast launch coincides with the Magic Kingdom. So that's pretty awesome.
Coincidence?
Makes sense. Yeah.
No, it's like
this is a Walt Disney World Resort podcast. So Here we go.
Yep. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, we figured that out not too long ago. So that was kind of cool when we figured that out. So maybe it's a sign of things to come,
Lord, we hope so. The success, right?
Yeah. So today we're going to be doing our 2026 preview of, the new attractions and shows and some dining options that are going to be coming to Disney World in the next 12 months. And, some of them they have release dates for, some of them they have, kind of general time frames. And, if you guys have been around Disney long enough, you know that, a lot of the times, a lot of these things get backed up, but, sometimes they're right on. So we're hoping that everything comes through on schedule, some of the things are rolling right along. So most of the stuff is coming pretty soon. A lot of it's in the springtime. So we hope everything's on schedule and ready to roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know when we go in 4 weeks, most of the stuff is not going to be open yet. They have nothing's going to be opening in January. Everything's
right.
Spring and after. So,
but with January, if you want to see us in the park, we will be there.
Yep.
In January, the very last weekend of the month. So we're going to be there. And the weekend that goes into February, the last weekend of the month, we're going to be in the park. Come see us. Come say hi. Say, hey, listen to your podcast. It's terrible. We want the bad reviewers to come visit us in the parks.
Yeah, we'll be there from January 29th to, that's Thursday, till Monday the 2nd. So we'll be there. Right. I'm actually getting there Wednesday a day early, so no park day. It's going to do a nice relaxing day. We're going to be up early because we're going to be at the what they call the Logan Express. It goes to Logan Airport in Boston. We're going to be there, I think, at 3:30 in the morning to catch the 4 o'clock. Oh. The 4 o'clock bus to the airport. Oh. I got a 7 o'clock flight, so you're going to be there a couple hours early, and it's during the week, so it gets kind of busy. Ooh. So it's all good. I got Disney energy. I'll be on fumes. But you know what? My plan is that Wednesday night, the first night I get there, is go to homecoming, get a nice plate of fried chicken, and I think right after I'm done eating, I'm going to be down for the count. That's it. My wife said, "What are we going to do after dinner?" I'm like, "Absolutely nothing." Bus back to the hotel, and I'm going to be crashed. I'm going to be all done. So
that's funny, man.
That's the plan. That's the plan. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, no Disney energy. I wake up typically at 4:30 for work, and I'm like dead to the world. And my alarm clock goes off. But that day, man, when the alarm goes off at like 2:45,
yeah,
I'm going to bounce right up. I'm going to, let's go up and at them. I'll be out the door ready to go. So it's all good. It's all good.
Well, that's, whatever, to each his own. If getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning energizes you, man, then you're ready for Disney.
Well, I know you don't get excited as me because you go 19 times a year, so I only get to go every year and a half. So.
Will you be too excited to sleep?
Oh yeah, on the bus. I mean, on the plane.
No. Just on the trip in general.
Oh no, I crash at night.
Oh, okay.
Crash at night. So much walking, dude.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
That last day, I know you weren't with us all day, but that last day when we were there last January,
yeah,
I have like the tracker on the Google on your phone. We did 17 miles because we did 3 parks in one day.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was crazy. So long day. Yeah,
I don't know that I would be down for that,
No, that was the one time we had somebody with us who had never been there. So she wanted to see them all. The only thing we didn't do was EPCOT. So we rope dropped Animal Kingdom, then we hit Hollywood Studios, and then met you at Magic Kingdom that night, and we were there till midnight. So it was a long day.
17 miles, folks. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was.
I think my highest Disney clocking is probably about 15 to 20.
Yeah.
I mean, when we did the 4 parks in one day about 2 years ago, with a group of friends, that was a good time. But that was still during the COVID restriction when they had the park hopping time restriction.
Oh yeah.
And you couldn't park hop until like 1
until
o'clock.
2.
Or 2 o'clock. That's right.
2 o'clock. Yeah.
And so that was a little rough. So we to get all the 4 parks, and so we did do a little waiting around to go to one of the other parks, but that was a long day. That was a super long day. But man, we conquered it all.
Nice. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, let's kick this off. What do we
So the first thing, I've heard some naysayers say this, that the castle, they announced that the castle would be repainted.
Yeah.
It's in the rose gold 50-year era, the 50th anniversary era. They repainted the castle, and that was cool. It was cool for the 50th anniversary, right? But the rose gold castle's got to go. And they're repainting the castle back to close to where it was before. I think they're going to make the grays and the blues a little more vibrant, which is cool. But they, a lot of these podcasters, they think they got knowledge, and I'm not saying that we have knowledge. We just like Disney, man. And they think they got some knowledge. They think they got some insider tips or whatever. Who cares? What?
Yeah, we heard somebody say that
some guy told another guy who told another guy, right? But Disney came out with it last week, or about a week and a half ago, saying that they definitely will be bringing the castle back to pre 50th anniversary colors. They will make the colors a little more vibrant. They did say that, but pre 50th color scheme coming back starting in January. They're going to start repainting the castle. Now we all know they do paint by number. They'll be having numbers all over the castle. I doubt there's going to be scaffold. There could be, but
no, they said no scaffolding.
No scaffold.
No, okay, it's going to be done all by crane.
Okay, all by crane, all by lift.
They said they're going to lower them every night out of the field of view, so it doesn't affect people's photos.
Oh well, that's nice of them.
Did you hear the biggest reason why they're repainting it back to the gray?
No.
So they announced that the reason why they're doing it is because they find that the gray shows up the projections from the fireworks shows.
Yeah.
It shows them up better than the colors that are on there. That was the biggest reason why they decided.
Well, I thought that in the first place, they painted it because the projections weren't showing up on the gray as well. So maybe they got this different gray paint.
I don't know. That's right. That's what I read somewhere. That was the biggest reason. I mean, other reasons why they wanted to do it. They wanted to bring it back to the old one, now that the anniversary's gone. But that they said that the new colors are going to show up the projections better. They're going to show them up more, a lot better than they have been. Again, because the colors are going to be a little bit more vibrant and, with the projections and everything like that. So that's what I read somewhere. I mean, it could be wrong again. I mean, you could go online and read, 5 million, articles, and everybody's got a different opinion on it,
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, no, certain people that we happen to know don't think it's going to happen. Even though they announced the cranes are moving in next week after they take out the Christmas decorations.
As soon as the decorations come down, the paint's going up.
Yep.
So I'm pretty excited. that the castle is going to look like it used to. So that's just going to happen in the first. They think that in the first 6 months of the year is their projection. And if they have good weather, I think by all means that'll happen. That's the first thing that I wanted to bring up. So that's, to me, that's exciting. Because it shows that Disney is doing some progress. They're doing some maintenance around the park. Another one that I don't think anybody really anticipated until just a few weeks ago was that there is going to be scaffold going up around the Tree of Life. They are going to be refurbing for the first time the Tree of Life.
What are they doing to it?
It just says here, expected to see scaffolding and nets around the park's icon throughout 2026 as it undergoes its most significant structural maintenance in years. So, I don't think that they've ever done anything with it.
I don't remember them ever doing that, ever having it covered.
As a lot of people know, the Tree of Life was a oil rig. That a big oil rig that they built the Tree of Life around. So maybe there's some problems with the frame. I'm assuming that they can get in there and check, for rust and things like that. Maybe over the years, there's some issues, and so some structural issues because it says structural, and so, I don't think that they're going to get rid of any of the carvings or anything like that. I think it's just general. It's going to be maintenance. They're going to try to, make the thing as stable as possible and things like that.
Replace some of the leaves.
Maybe.
Yeah, do the leaves fall off?
I don't know. Well, they're not real leaves.
I'm just saying. Do you think they come off after every once in a while?
I don't know.
Drop a few.
It might. I think the leaves are metal, and so maybe they need some maintenance. Maybe they need repainting. Who knows, right? Maybe they're going to put up new clusters. I don't know. So that they've been kind of vague on this refurbishment. But let's be honest here. Animal Kingdom is going under a extensive refurbishment, and in the Dinoland USA area, and I'll bring that up too. So February 1st, I think it's February 1st, or I'm sorry, maybe February 2nd. Actually, I think it's actually February 2nd. Is the last hurrah for Dinosaur. Dinosaur's done on February 2nd. February 1st is the last time you can ride the dang thing. Dinosaur's going away, and which is the last remnants of Dinoland. And it's going to usher Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I'm excited, folks.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Indiana Jones is one of my favorite IPs that Disney has. And, it was Lucasfilm, and it's one of my favorite IPs that Disney has. And I think that it has a lot of love in Hollywood studios with the Stunt Spectacular, which is a fantastic show. Please go see that. But with Indiana Jones, they're transforming the dinosaur ride, which is the same type of ride mechanism as it is out in California. So they're taking those two ride concepts, meshing it together, and retheming it to Indiana Jones. And it's going to be like the Temple of the Mayan Ruins or something like that, I think. So it's going to be a whole new story. It's going to be different than what they've got going on out in California. So I'm pretty stoked for a new story. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Harrison Ford said a few years ago he'll never do another Indiana Jones again. He's just getting up in age and things like that. But maybe this ushers a new era of Indiana Jones. Who could assume? The thing is like, okay, Sean Connery, he's passed away. Harrison Ford is pretty aged. So who could assume a new role as the Indiana Jones?
What they could do, they
Or
could do
maybe
a
the son or
they could
daughter
do a
or something.
prequel. No, they could do a prequel. Well, he never had a son or a daughter.
Well, but they could make
be
out of
hard.
nowhere.
Yeah, but I mean, you figure where Raiders of the Lost Ark came, what was he? He was like probably early 30s, right?
Right.
So you figure, was he gonna have this long lost kid that he didn't know about?
Well,
I would
he was
I would say,
cavalier.
well, I would say do the prequels like they did with Star Wars. You know what I mean? They could have them because you remember in the beginning of the Last Crusade when they had what was his name, River Phoenix?
Yeah.
Played him as like a teenager, right? So they could have somebody between that, someone in their early 20s.
You're talking about the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles,
right? But I mean, they could do a series of movies with that.
Yeah, I mean they could. Yeah, and River Phoenix isn't around anymore either.
Right.
But he's gone. But they could. I think they could come up with a prequel. That would be fine with me, as long as it kind of adheres to the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, that kind of era. It goes with that storyline. It matches a little bit because it can't get too far fetched because that's out in the world, right? That's out in the atmosphere.
Right.
You can't really mess with that too much unless they come up with new chronicles, right?
They would definitely need to have Spielberg involved with that project.
Oh
if
yeah,
they were to do that,
if he's willing to do it,
right? He would have to do it. Otherwise,
right.
It's just not going to be done right. You know what I mean? It needs to be done in that style, that same style of directing.
That's correct. Yeah. It would have to be.
Yeah.
Somebody great. Who's the actor? And I can look this up while we're talking.
What's up?
Who is the actor that was on the movie Twisters? That guy. He would make a good Indiana Jones. That Glenn Powell.
Which one is that?
Glenn Powell. He was on the movie Twisters.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
the new Twisters. It's called Twisters.
Right. No, I haven't seen. I was thinking of the original.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, dude, that's actually a good movie. That's really a good. It wasn't a remake. It was just a good.
Right.
It wasn't a prequel either. It was after the fact. So it was a post.
Is that streaming yet?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's been out for over a year.
Yeah.
But that movie's really actually pretty great. I liked it a lot.
Maybe I'll check that out today.
But that Glenn Powell, he would make a good Indiana Jones. He's young enough. He's got kind of the look. So
yeah, somebody in their 20s. Yep.
So I think we've killed this bird. But if you can't tell, we're excited about that. Encanto is not going to come until 2027, late 2027. Mm-hmm. That area, but man, they're doing some major reconstruction on that thing, and I'm excited, man. I am super excited. I didn't think, when they announced Encanto in the tropical Americas, coming to Dino Land, I never assumed that it would be as extensive as it's going to be. I thought it was going to get a carousel. It was going to get their house. But I never assumed that was going to be a real attraction. It said that it was going to be an attraction, but I thought it was going to be more of like a walkthrough, more of, but no, they have a ride vehicle for this. So yeah, it's coming about, and man, they're doing some like major excavation over there to build out the show building and everything. So I think that it's going to be more than what a lot of people thought it was going to be. I'm actually kind of impressed as to what's happening over there. So
I'm curious to see it. I haven't seen it since I've dug it up. Last time I saw it, last January, all the walls were up, but there was nothing going on yet.
If you look at the BioReconstruct photos on Instagram, dude, like they've dug down. There's this giant dirt pile that people can see. This giant dirt mountain that people are seeing above the walls, and people are like, "What is going on?" Well, they have dug like probably about 10 to 15 feet down into the ground for this thing. So I don't, who knows? Who knows what's going on? But it looks like it's going to be awesome, whatever it's going to be. So I'm excited for that. But that's not going to come till late 2027.
Yeah, that's a ways away. So I'm excited for the new stuff coming this year, though.
Yeah. Okay. So back to this year.
Yeah. So first thing on my list, I have obviously we've talked about this a few times. We don't need to really go into it. The Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster. It's going to come in the summer. The Muppets layover over the Aerosmith one. Yeah. I'm kind of excited. You said that the Aerosmith is staying in place for a little while longer, right? Until after we're there.
Yeah. I know that's another February.
Yeah,
February 1st, I think, closing.
Yeah. So
we're going to get to ride it.
Yeah, I know they got rid of the pre-show.
Right.
So you just kind of go through the room and the line.
It's going to be a quick refurb. We've said this in the past. They can't do too much to it.
Yep.
To change the roller coaster itself. It's just a theme over. And I wouldn't say it's just a theme over personally, but, it is. Right. And so I think it's going to be cool. Nonetheless, anything Muppets is super cool, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yep, that'll be good.
That's coming in. That's coming, that says here. Let me look here. Where was that at?
So
they say summer 2026.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it says the Aerosmith version is expected to close in March 2026.
Oh, okay.
With the Muppets version opening in the summer. So that's pretty ambitious for Disney.
Yeah. Like you said, I don't think there's too much to really do, when you think of it.
Yeah.
When you're on the ride, there's the signs, the neon signs that they got to get rid of and all that. But like you said, they're not really changing the ride.
They don't have to get rid of neon. That's the thing. Dr. Teeth had neon.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably keep them up. They'll just repaint them with something. Like I said, it's a quick one. March. Like I said, they're probably going to want all this stuff open before the 4th of July. That's my guess.
Yeah. I think they're doing a lot of pre-prep right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they can just move everything in.
Yep. I think they are. I think, backstage they're doing some things.
Yep. Absolutely.
Buzz Lightyear's reopening in the spring.
Yeah.
So
that's probably one of my biggest favorite things that I'm waiting for. I love that ride. Even in its current state, I know it gets a bad rap, because the guns don't detach and all that. But I am super excited for that. I can't wait. That's one of my favorites.
I think it's a travesty that Buzz Lightyear is not in Toy Story Land.
Right.
But that's a different point. But yeah, I'm excited for that ride to come back. I think it's going to be amazing. The refurbs that they've shown for it look pretty good. So I think in general the fans are excited about that. Big Thunder coming back. That's probably what I'm most excited about. Big Thunder, because my daughter has literally been waiting a year and a half to ride Big Thunder. And that's her favorite roller coaster at Disney. One of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Next to Guardians of the Galaxy, that's probably my second favorite. Check back with our coaster episode, and you'll see what our favorites were. But I tell you, Big Thunder. It got a whole new track, natural caverns, some really cool lighting effects. I think is what they've done to this thing.
Yeah, I think most of it was cosmetic, and obviously them rebuilding the track. I think it's gonna be a little smoother.
Yeah.
Maybe a little quicker. Who knows?
I hope so.
But yeah, a lot of it's a lot of cosmetic, makeover and stuff like that they did. Obviously the track is what took them the longest. Reason why it was so out for so long.
Yeah, when you're retracking the entire roller coaster,
mm-hmm.
I mean, man.
Yeah, well, that'll be good.
So California just reopened with all of its new,
mm-hmm.
All of its new refurbishments, and I think the crowds are saying that they like it. So,
yep.
Also summer 2026. Well, it's going to be Memorial Day weekend. Is going to open the Soarin' over America. I'm excited, super, super excited about that. I think that's going to be choice.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good because it's going to have obviously the newer technology. Everything will be in 4K. Yeah. Everything's going to be sharper. New footage and everything like that. So
and they're using real life shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I don't think they're going to be doing too much CGI.
No, you can't. I mean, you can't CGI at Buc-ee's, right? They got to have Buc-ee's in there.
Exactly.
They got to get that license, man. They got to get Buc-ee's in there. No, you can't CGI greatness of 200 gas pumps.
Well, back when they shot the original, Soarin' across the world, obviously they didn't have the capability. They didn't have the, the drones like they do now, where you can go and do different things, and you can go to different places, and I don't mean like physical places. I mean you can do shots that you couldn't do before, with like a, plane or a helicopter and everything like that. So, I'm really curious to see the way they do this film. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
I think they're really going to do it justice. This is the 250th anniversary of our country, folks. That's not something to take lightly. That's America. We should be celebrating our independence. And man, what a great tribute that Disney's thrown in, for that. And apparently Disney's going to go all out. They're going to go all out for that 4th of July time period. Memorial Day to 4th of July, and I'm excited, man.
Yeah, they were talking about it a lot last night on on ABC. Obviously, Disney owns it, but they were talking about how they have a lot planned for the year. Which is, I'm still contemplating a quick 3-4 day trip over 4th of July.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm thinking of it. Thinking of driving down. Yeah. So a quick shot down.
Doing the drive.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it. Just getting in the car. Because the crowds on 4th of July aren't that crowded anymore. I don't know if this year would be any different, but I don't think so.
I don't know, man. 250th celebration of our country. I think it's going to attract some people.
You think so?
Yeah, I really do.
Well,
it's my assumption, but
I think for me, I think it's going to be a last minute decision for me. I think it's probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks, and we'll be like, you know what, get in the car.
Let's go.
We're going to go. So, what about Smugglers Run?
Smugglers Run is getting, that's going to be Memorial Day weekend as well.
Yep.
That's going to reopen new missions with
Mando and Grogu.
Mandalorian, it says coincides with the new films, and for the first time, the ride has received a permanent new storyline since its opening.
Yep.
So that's going to be cool. You know, I'm pretty stoked about that. Hopefully Disney doesn't ride on this one. I think a lot of the Star Wars fans feel like they've been put out on that, and so we're going to see. It's Smugglers Run isn't getting the love that it used to, like Rise of the Resistance still consistently does,
right?
And so I think Disney's really looking to give it the Star Wars or the Star Tours treatment.
Yeah.
On that, so
yeah, we talked about other problems, just beating a dead horse, but
right.
That ride is really based on the people who are in it. You know what I mean? Chances are, if you're in there with kids, the parents put the kids in the pilot seat, and then it just kind of ruins it for everybody else. So you're kind of all over the place. That was my thing. I mean, it's cool to be able to do it, to steer it yourself, but it definitely does ruin it. I'd much rather just sit there and be a passenger and have it be a nice, smooth, cool ride. You know, that's always been my opinion with it. You know what I mean? I don't think the thought of being able to, fly it yourself, outweighs the benefit to going through the ride and having a smooth ride. Because, like I said, it ruins it for a ride. That's why I don't think a lot of people ride it. It doesn't have the repeatability that Rise does.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. So I'm hoping that they change it up a little bit. I don't know if they're going to make changes to the controls. I don't know if they've ever mentioned anything to that. I know
I don't think so.
A few different missions. I think they're going to have 3 different missions, but who knows? But yeah, no, right. the whole Galaxy's Edge has been sort of a big disappointment to Star Wars fans. That I think a lot of people were thinking it was going to be the original prequel. Darth Vader walking around as opposed to. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they were saying that if they were to change it around and reintroduce the original with the original characters and everything like that, that wouldn't make a difference. And I 100% disagree. You know what I mean? I think if you would have Darth Vader walking around with a bunch of stormtroopers, you know what I mean, and just say in the cantina there was different characters in there and set up differently, I think you'd have a completely different vibe in that whole area, and I think that would bring a lot more people in and bring people back more often. The people that do go more than once. That's just my opinion. But they were saying they didn't think that it was going to make a difference, but I think it would. Because a lot of people don't have connections to these characters. You know what I mean? The newer characters.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right on that. And I think that Disney's got a problem that they've got to overcome on that. And I think once they do, it'll get that Star Wars fan base church back up again. But, we'll see. We'll rev back up if they get some love. Another thing I didn't mention, Magic Kingdom is the Walt Disney animatronic. And this was controversial out in California, but it's the first ever time that they're going to do the animatronic, the Disney animatronic, in the Carousel of Progress. Now, I assume that Disney's going to learn from some of the mistakes they made with the other attraction out in California, or maybe it's the same animatronic. I don't know, but
I hope not. I hope it's not.
I hope it's not either. I hope it's a younger Walt Disney. But we, who knows, right? But
yeah, it doesn't even look like him. Right. I don't think he looks like him.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, it's a cool animatronic. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it is a cool animatronic. But they're bringing that thing over to the Carousel of Progress. I think that's going to be cool. I think that show should have had Walt in it many years ago.
Yep.
And I think that's going to give Carousel of Progress some new life. I sure hope so.
Yeah, it's great. I love the show. I hit it at least once every time I go.
Yeah, I've only done it like 1 or 2 times, to be honest with you.
You mean total ever?
Yeah, ever. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. To be honest with you, man,
Huh.
as much of a Disney fan as I am,
Is there a reason?
I think it's the time. I think the reason, the time it takes to do it. It takes 20, 30 minutes.
Well, I think it's like 18 minutes, and it's always a walk on. So
Yeah,
you're
I know, but
talking 30 minutes total.
yeah, I don't know. I've only done it like 2 or 3 times.
Really? So
Yeah.
I love that thing. I think I can recite the whole thing.
That's funny.
But getting back to the animatronics, see, I have a funny feeling that they're just going to duplicate, because they're not going to reinvent the wheel, right? I think they're going to duplicate the one that they have in California, and they're just going to put it in Florida.
I don't know, man.
You don't think so? You think they're going to make a different?
I think it'll have a different skin. That's why it's taking this long.
Have you ever been to the Wax Museum, Madame Tussauds in Orlando, near the Orlando Eye?
No.
So I was in there. We went there about 10 years ago, right? And they have a wax figure of Walt Disney. I swear to God, I was afraid to walk up to it. It looked so real. It looked exactly
usually those Madame Tussauds wax museums,
yeah.
They straight up look like the person.
Some of them are scary. Some of them you can tell, but some of them look like really, really,
really real. Yeah.
They have the one that looks like a pit bull. Oh my God. It was identical. But Walt Disney, why can't they get the people to do that and just mock it up into an animatronic, into the same figure?
I don't know if it's because of the movement or what.
I get it, but I'm just saying they still use a form to do the face, right? And they just make it flexible with the the gears in the back. Why can't you use that same form as that they did in the Wax Museum? It's completely different.
I mean, they do it for the Hall of Presidents, and they do decently for that.
But even the Hall of Presidents, at a distance, it looks good. If you were to get up, like right in front of them,
yeah, they probably don't.
The older one's not bad. Like Lincoln. Lincoln looks great. Washington, all them. But if you get up and look at like Trump or Obama or Biden, if you get a close up of their face, it doesn't really look like them. You know what I mean? From a distance, it does. But
hopefully it'll be.
But yeah, I'm excited for it. I love Carousel.
Yeah, we'll see.
Definitely take it. We're definitely taking you on that.
They're going to get a fat face Walt Disney like they have in California, or a nice young skinny Walt Disney that we have, that we all know and love. So we'll see what happens. But let's see. Some new characters coming to the parks. Bluey coming to Animal Kingdom. It's going to be the first time that Bluey is in a Disney park, and I'm excited about that. It's taken him a long time to they announced this like 3 years ago, and it's taken them a long time to doggy paddle across the ocean to get here. But he's going to be here. So Bluey and Bingo, they're going to have a permanent meet and greet. At Conservation Station.
Mm-hmm. Now, are they getting rid of the goats to put them in, or are they going to share the space?
They're taking the dogs out to the goats, man. They're taking the dogs out with the goats.
They're going to need to get rid of those damn goats.
They're moving the dogs in with the goats.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see like Bluey in there performing a surgery or something out there. What
about Frozen Ever After getting animatronics and losing the projections?
That's correct. Yeah.
So that'll be
That's
good.
happening in February.
Is that happening that soon?
Yeah. In February, it says that the ride will debut the new, more realistic audio animatronics for Anna and Elsa, similar to the ones used at Hong Kong Disneyland, which, if you've looked at those, they look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just a switch out, personally.
Yeah, that's why I think they're going to have very, very little downtime.
Yeah, it might be a week or two. Right. It'll be a presto changeo kind of thing.
Yep.
On that, the Magic of Disney animation and the animation courtyard, all that being reimagined. It's supposed to open late summer, which, man, I don't know if, like, when I was there like 3 weeks ago, it was, dude, they had a dirt pile. Okay. So I don't know what they're doing to that, but it's pretty extensive to that area over there.
Yeah, I saw pictures the other day, looking over the walls.
Yeah.
They're doing a lot.
It's a lot more than I thought they were going to do. So
but they're putting trees and everything. They're putting like a little tiny park. I think they're putting some benches with, I don't know if it's real grass, probably fake grass, but with some trees and everything, like a little city area.
Some like hub space, right?
Yeah. So it'll be good. But the Disney animation thing going in where Launch Bay was, that's going to be great. I know my wife is excited for that. She always loved doing that when they had that before. I think they had it. Where would they have that? In Epcot? Where they had
Epcot, yep.
Yeah, so she used to do that every time. So I would let her. She would go take the class, and I think it would take like an hour, and then I'd kind of go do my own thing for an hour, and then I'd come back and grab her. But she's all excited for that, so that's going to be great. That's going to be great to do that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. Some of the offerings that they're having this coming year, they're going to continue with the free water park admission. On your arrival day, and I think that's cool. Me and my wife and kids took advantage of that back in the summer, and it was fun. We went to Typhoon Lagoon. Kids had a blast. We were there, 4 or 5 hours, and it was a good time. And so I think that's a very good value to their water parks. I think that a lot of people are utilizing that, and Disney has seen that, and it's that guest satisfaction, right?
Right.
And it's the little things that Disney does that Universal doesn't do that attracts families, whole families, young families to come. And when you offer up a free day at the water park when you're checking in, that's big. I think that's big.
It is big because you want to know why? Because this isn't a money thing for Disney. I think this was a perk that they specifically did for people, because if they were looking at it strictly in a financial point of view, right? Why would they have people that are getting there fairly early on that first travel day when they could have scooped up another day on their hopper or another day?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have people like, to give you an example, like me. My first day when I'm going next month, actually this month, when I get there, I'm landing, 10:30. By the time I get to my hotel, it's going to be 11:30. I'm not going to the parks that day, but I could go to the water park.
I think that's what Disney's found, is that
right
on that first resort day, that many families, that have, 2 kids, young kids, things like that, aren't going to the park that first day anyway. And they're getting settled in when they can go hop over to a water park for 2 or 3 hours, 4 hours, and enjoy a Disney park without going to one of the major 4 theme parks. And in those parks close at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock. They're closed fairly early, and so it allows families to do what they want to do.
Yeah. No, it's a good
flexible deal.
No, absolutely.
It's the kids are probably going to be hitting the resort pool anyway, so why not just take them over to the water park, right? Right. So I think it's a value. That's a value that Disney has that Universal doesn't have. Universal's not giving away free days at the water park. Over at Volcano Bay, they're not doing that. Right. Disney's doing that. So I just want to make that point clear. Disney is doing that. Universal's not. That's a value. So, dude, I think that's skill. So the kids eat. Sorry. The kids eat free. The free dining plan for kids 3 to 9, it'll be available with certain of our vacation packages for 2026 again. Those are usually the non-discounted packages.
Right.
And so, that's good.
Yeah, you got to kind of weigh the discounts on that, whether you want to go, pay the rack rate for your room and grab the free dining or whatever. Usually weigh it both ways. If you use a Disney travel agent, they'll work it out for you both ways.
Yeah, usually
save you the most. But
I think that's a good value for families. The revamp of the Disney dining package I've never been a fan of when they revamped it, but they did have to do something because it was a little much, right?
Are you a dining plan guy?
No,
neither am I.
No. But I would I would think that the dining plan would work really good for some families, where some that really have to budget. Whereas, my family, we're generally getting a snack or two in the parks. Our lunch might be a quick service lunch, and then we're doing, maybe a meal in the evening. We try to do one sit down meal, table service meal per day. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah, sometimes we don't even do that.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes quick service is just fine with us. And so, that's where we're at with it. So, for my kids, it's not really a value. For my wife, it's not really a value. We wouldn't utilize it. Let's put it that way, the way it should be utilized. But there are some families out there that are, are needing it, and so, it's good that Disney offers that.
Yeah, we had on our anniversary trip that we went to in summer of 2018, they ran a promotion with a 4-night, with a 4-night package, you got one quick service credit per person per day, which was great because that we used it for our lunches, every day. So, so we used it there, and then at night, we did regular dinner or whatever. But, that softens the blow a little bit. That'll save you, lunch for 2 adults. It's, probably $40-$50.
Right.
So,
Disney's still one of the only parks that allows you to bring in your own lunch.
Right.
If you want to bring in peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and chips and stuff into the park and eat it in the hub or wherever, they still allow that.
Right.
And I see families utilize that, especially for the little kids, for the toddlers and things like that. I see families utilize that. But if you want to bring your own 20-ounce soda in there, as long as it's sealed up,
right,
they're cool with it.
Can't be opened.
If you want to bring your water bottle with tea in it or whatever, they don't care. As long as it's sealed
and no ice.
No ice. Yeah.
No ice.
Yeah, but they offer ice.
Right. No, you can get it in the park. Yeah, you can't bring it through the security. So you got to have like a ice pack.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You mean in the coolers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And man, that's cool. Whatever. Cool. Disney still allows that. And I'm really surprised that Disney does. But they, they're a family park. That's the whole thing. Like, that's a lot of the thing that people don't get. They're like big Universal people. They're like, oh yeah, Universal's awesome. You can ride all these ginormous rides that are 3 hours to wait. Or you can get the express pass and pay $300 extra for your day and blah blah. It's a money grab. Whereas Disney, I think, of course, their prices have edged up over the years. Okay. They have their annual price increase every year. We all know that, of course, food and merchandise is going to go up, year over year, especially with the tariffs in place and stuff like that. But, but overall, for a family, Disney's still attracting families is what I'm trying to say here. And, it might take families a little longer to go to Disney these days. It might take a family 2 years versus every year going now with pricing, but people are still saving up to go to Disney, man. And I think they continually will.
Universal's really not cheaper.
Dude, it's not. It's not cheaper at all. I spent, just, to be transparent here, I spent $230 for my ticket to get into Epic Universe. And then once I got in the park, the quick service cost me for a single serve drink. That's not a refillable. A single serve drink and a macaroni and cheese cone, pizza cone or whatever they call it. Pizza Moon is the place, I guess, whatever it is. But anyway, that cost me $28 for two things. And I'm telling you, the cone thing was not ginormous. There was no sides with that. That was it.
Yeah, no.
$28.
Yeah, I've heard the food is a lot higher there in general.
Dude, you can get at Disney, you can get chicken tenders and a Coke for less than $15 still. That includes fries. So I don't know, man. I don't know what that noise is over there. But I'm just telling you, I don't think it's that much better.
No,
that's my opinion.
It's just the Disney rap. Everybody, it's like the New England Patriots, man. When you're on top, everybody's trying to knock you off.
Yep, just like the Chiefs. You mean?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs got knocked off this year.
Were knocked off.
But generally, they're on top. Okay, and it's the team everybody loves to hate, and so here we are.
Yeah, and that's Disney right now. They get
it is.
With the price increases because everybody raises their prices, but because they're the ones on top and they're the ones in the focus, they're the ones that get
Josh D'Amaro, the Patrick Mahomes of Disney, is getting a bad rap.
I hope Josh gets the CEO.
I do too, man.
I think that's going to be good. I think that's going to be good for the park fans.
If they let Dana Walden do her thing too. Under Josh or beside Josh, I'm cool with that too.
I'd rather Josh. Because I think he's going to do a lot of good things.
No, I'm just saying, if they were like a like he ran one thing and she ran the other, that would be fine with me. So who knows? Who knows how that's going to work out? But 2026 is going to be a tell. Yeah. It's going to happen. It's happening. So Bob Iger is going to take his back seat finally. So that's another thing, for 2026. So anyway, hey, we're going to end this thing. We're going to start wrapping this thing up on a positive note. Pizzas and Parkhops 2026 is going to be big, man. We're talking about, you guys, you're going to get at least 50 episodes roughly of Pizzas and Parkhops. So be excited. We got a lot of things coming your way. We're going to have a website. Our website's going to come online in 2026. I think that's going to be exciting. We got a community set up now. And that's a kind of an interesting thing. So we'll see how that works out. But like I said, the big thing, we're going to have our website. We're going to have some new, fresh ideas, some fresh things coming your way, some in-park stuff coming your way. And I think that you're going to be excited. We're ecstatic.
Plus, we got some good guests lined up.
Right? Yeah, we got some travel agents lined up. We've got some. We got this. We're going to do like a tournament bracket kind of thing. We're going to do with some special guests. We got some special guests talking about some ways to save to go to Disney. that aren't necessarily travel agents, but save some time, save some money by doing some things. So, man, 2026 is going to be shaping up to be a good year. And I think you guys are going to be super excited for it, as I am. What do you got to say about that, Chris?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great year. Like you said, we have a lot of good things lined up. I think we have about 20, 25 shows, ready to go, and, we're always coming up with new ideas.
Right.
So, everything's evolving. We're getting the views, we're getting the likes, and, things are going good. So we'll keep things going. And like you always say, like, subscribe, tell your friends about us who are, any other Disney adults that like the info that we talk about.
Right. Yeah.
Send the info along. It's the only way we're going to get bigger.
Yeah, we're going to have fresh takes, and we're going to come up with some of these themes that we had early on, with the our top 5 of whatever, and things like that. Those people really like those videos.
Mm-hmm.
And man, like you said, Chris, we need people to like, subscribe, comment. We're just getting started, man. We're only 3 months in. We're just getting started here, guys. And it's just going to get better from here. It's up from here. So, a lot of podcasts don't make it this long. So we're going to be doing it. So, for me and Chris, have a happy new year. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your new year. We got a new year.
Oh.
I'm going to be watching IU beat Alabama today.
Yep.
That's my prediction. IU beats Alabama. I couldn't be any more happy than a result of the game last night.
Mm-hmm.
That Ohio State got crushed.
Yep.
I mean, absolutely demolished by Miami.
Yep. My Canes team through defense played huge last night. Dude. Played so good.
Nobody thought that this was going to happen.
No.
Nobody thought that Ohio State was going to look like Little Sisters of the Poor out there playing.
Well, a lot of people wrote Miami off. They had that 2-game losing streak, and everybody kind of rode them off. So they tightened the belt. They they went forward, and now they're on a roll. So the defense is playing great. So I'd love to see them.
I think the Ohio State fans were drinking a little extra last night after that loss.
Yep.
Because that dude, Ohio State doesn't lose 2 games in a row.
No.
And they lost to Indiana, which Indiana's been on a freaking roll, man. And that program is just heating up. I'm telling you, folks, it is going to continue to roll. People around here in Indiana are getting excited. They're getting pumped.
Looking at the bracket, I don't know the bracket off the top of my head. Is it possible for Indiana and Miami to meet in the championship?
Yep.
It is possible?
With Ohio State gone.
No, but I mean the bracket, the way the bracket works out.
That would have been the game.
Okay.
I think that would have been the championship.
Okay.
So, I got some dogs barking.
Yeah, you do.
You hear that? Anyway, they're excited about IU too, man. Yeah. So we're excited. As people from Indiana, we're excited to see these things rolling. And growing. So, it seems it's funny, man. The Indiana fans are coming out of the woodwork.
Biggest thing that I think they're getting around the country is that it's new blood.
Yeah,
it's a new team. You're not seeing, Ohio State, Alabama, the same old team, Clemson, Georgia.
Right.
It's like you see those same teams every year. So that's why I think Indiana's some fresh blood. It's a good team. They're fun to watch. They're talented. They're playing well. So I'm rooting for them. Absolutely.
Remember when Oregon sucked really bad? I mean, like for forever, right?
Yeah.
And then they got good.
Yep.
And now they're a contender, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every year now they're a contender. Indiana is finally becoming a contender, and it's we're getting excited over here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Being a Texas, I'm a Texas Longhorns. Naturally, I'm a Texas Longhorns fan. Growing up, I've always been a Texas Longhorns fan, and I always said that Notre Dame was my second. But man, Indiana's kind of taking that place. And Notre Dame's the Indiana team, right? But Indiana, IU, man, I was always been an IU basketball fan, always. Yep. So that's never been different. So for me to pick up Indiana football this last few years, the last 3 years, I would say, it's been exciting, man. I remember 3 years ago, before Signetti became the coach, the tickets to go to an Indiana football game were like $8.
Really?
$8. Yeah, you could sit just about anywhere for $8. Now you can't even get in the parking lot for $8. You can't even get near the parking lot for $8. So that kind of tells you how hot that program's become. So
anyway. I agree.
Well, I agree. We'll see how it all plays out today.
Yeah, hopefully your team is in the playoffs like ours.
Yeah,
I've been a Canes fan since the mid '80s. When they were the U.
The U.
Still the U, but back
then. Snoop Dogg said he was a fan of the U since the '80s. in that one of the songs. Anyway, man, I'm Brandon, and that's Chris, and we are Pizzas and Parkhops, and you just have a fantastic new year. This will come out January 2nd, so we'll see. We'll know the results when this sucker comes out, and may have to edit. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's going to be exciting, folks. So. Get ready for 2026, man. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you next time.
Go have a pizza. Go watch the games.
That's all right. Go enjoy a few slices. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, man. I'm Brandon. That's Chris. For Pizzas and Parkhops. We're out of here. We'll
see you next week.